Okay, want to call the meeting to order for January 3rd, 2024, and we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty for all.
Okay, we're packing them right in tonight, so.
It's early yet.
Yeah, it's probably, the weather's holding back. All right, we'll start out with the warrants. Jeff, what do you got
So
there?
I got two payroll warrants. I have one dated December 22nd, 2023 for the payroll period of the 11th through the 17th. And that's in the amount of $27,765.55. And I have a second warrant dated December 29th for the payroll period, December 18th through the 24th, and that one's for $49,457.47, and that includes the $24,331.10 in agency checks.
Okay.
And I guess I would make a motion that we would approve these warrants.
Okay, second.
Second.
All right, no discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
What do you got over there, Brendan?
Okay, I've got three different warrants. I've got one they're all pretty basic, but I've got one that's an impact fee warrant dated January 3rd, 2024 in the amount of $450.46. And it's part of a refund. A town resident applied for a permit for an accessory dwelling unit and accidentally was charged the impact fee for a single family home instead of an ADU. So that $450.46 is the difference. So make a motion, we approve that one.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Next.
The stormwater utility warrant dated January 3rd, 2024 is in the whopping amount of $33.50. And it's made payable, of course, to the State of Vermont Agency of Natural Resources, Department of Environmental Conservation, and it is a permit fee. So I begrudgingly make a motion that we approve that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then I have an industrial park warrant dated January 3rd, 2024 in the amount of $4,484.08. And it's two invoices, both payable to Champlin Associates. They are the engineering / maintenance firm that deals with the pump stations more often than not. And this seems to all be related to maintenance. I'm sure Dave. So on 12/6, they vacuumed out and cleaned out a pump station at 700 Industrial Park Road, and that is the lion's share of the invoice. So I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you're up.
Okay, general fund warrant dated January 3rd, 2024. In the amount of $125,484.60. Two big ticket items are the Amcare Medical Systems for $40,623. And the Franklin County Sheriff's Department for $61,372.25. Having said that, I'll make a motion, we approve this warrant.
Second.
Okay, any more discussion on any of that? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Okay, minutes is next. Anybody got an issue with the minutes from December 18th? I guess that's the only set there is here. Yep.
I'll make a motion, we approve the minutes from December 18th, 2023.
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Now, public comment, they're limited to 3 minutes.
I don't think Roman want to make a public comment.
I doubt it.
Come on, anybody? Okay, moving on. Town managers report. You're up, Al.
Thank you. So what I'd like to let people know is that Sean has come down with COVID-19 and has been pretty sick since the New Year's Day, or, yeah. And so we've been covering for him. Staff has been phenomenal helping me hold the bridge or the fort down. And so just want to go just a few things. Town clerk, Sean and I have been refining the budget as much as we can. And we found a couple of glitches and a couple of opportunities. So what I would like to do is to postpone the agenda item to talk about the budget and have a separate meeting sometime next week or the week after, just for the budget.
Okay.
Can say that it's not bad looking. I'll put it that way. In
Okay.
terms of any tax increases, I think will be acceptable to the public, hopefully.
Okay.
Beyond that, I don't think there's been any real emergencies that we've had this week that we've had to deal with. Yes, sir.
For that budget meeting we have, could we work on a version of the revenue budget that gives us a projection for the next fiscal year? I try to.
Yes, 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 I've worked on that this week.
Thank you. Availability, like Thursday next week, I could do pretty much any time of month. I mean,
I'm out of town next week. I'm in Indianapolis. No, I'll be here Monday night. That's our Monday and Tuesday morning. That's it for me.
So what do you think we shoot for Monday? During the day sometime? Is that good for you? This is budget now.
yeah, Monday is good.
I
I'm
get
wide
it.
open.
That's the 8th.
Yeah,
Monday is. The only time I can do it on Monday would be 8 in the morning.
do that.
Everybody happy
And
with it?
take Elliot.
I got a 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock.
Does that sound good, Al? It's getting you up kind of early.
It's getting me up early. I'm just trying to also think of Sean.
If Sean doesn't come back the rest of this week,
I don't think so.
yeah.
Today's what, Wednesday? Even if he can't, I don't think he'll come. Doesn't sound great. If Sean's on the television, he can answer. But I mean, I know he wants to come back, but I would doubt he'd be back before, at best, Friday. Maybe we should go to the second week, give him time to also work with Anna and I.
When does the warning have to be
When are you
finalized?
back?
I won't be back till Friday night.
Which is what day?
That is going to be the 12th.
So what are you thinking, Al, by the second week?
You could start your meeting on the 17th at 5 o'clock to talk about the budget.
Oh,
Yeah, but I can't, I won't be there because I have another with the Regional Planning Commission on the 17th.
so our meeting's at 5 on the
17th.
17th?
For the
Well,
budget?
No, it's a regular meeting.
It's a
It's a
regular-
regular meeting because it's a holiday, Monday, the 15th.
Oh, they can come in at 5, but you can't.
Oh, no, I think it would be hard. Well, I could, yeah, if I could come in at 5 and then work in the back on Zoom call, so I can make the meeting by Zoom in the back room.
Yeah, because the 5 o'clock portion to the regular meeting at 6:30 is all delegated to the budget anyway, right?
Correct.
So we could, do you wanna maybe like type a synopsis, email up tomorrow on what you're looking at and send it to us?
Say that again?
Could you type a synopsis in the form of a memo or something, or an email tomorrow, maybe show us what you're looking at? That way we can digest it before the 17th,
Yes, I would also, yeah, okay, yep.
just see what it is.
Yep.
You say it's a good thing, you're gonna be excited about it, now I'm gonna be curious for 2 weeks.
So we're talking budget month, that was 17th at 5.
Wednesday, 17th.
We're closed for MLK Day,
Monday.
the 15th.
Oh, okay. All right, that gets it, we can approve it in time for Anna to get,
Right.
okay. So everybody's good with that then?
Mhm.
I better write that down because I'll forget.
Are we doing vote by mail this year? Are we allowed to?
I honestly don't know. I didn't ask her.
No, if we
I'm
gotta, like,
I'm just wondering, somehow in the back of my mind, it's on our stamp, not on the state's.
that's fine. It doubles participation. I mean, I
Right.
get it's gonna be a presidential primary year anyway, but. I don't know. I mean, it seemed pretty harmless for local elections. I mean, some other communities are doing charter changes to allow non-resident citizens to be able to vote in municipal elections, so. By sending ballots in the mail, it's not like we're gonna. By comparison.
Okay,
I'd like to do it, well, then you get a better turnout.
You get a better feel.
well, we have to check with Anna and see if we can do it.
So do we wanna give like consensus or even a motion that we agree to do it if it's possible? So that it,
On next Wednesday.
like now even, just so that if she says, yes, it's possible with the Secretary of State, you know, do we wanna?
Yes,
Say that
yes, you can do that, and if it's possible, you know. No, I don't think she is.
So I'll make a motion that we, you know, I wanna hear more on the 17th, because I don't know how the federal and the state primaries might affect that ballot. I don't know,
It's,
because they're gonna get printed on our ballot, right? It's
no,
not a
it's-
separate ballot,
I believe it is a separate ballot.
the primaries? Because you have to pick Republican or Democrat, and then our ballot, and then the school ballot.
Right,
So you really couldn't do vote by mail in a primary very well, because how do you pre-select what party you're primary against? That'd be my,
you mail back the written on ballot. It's what we did last year.
okay, so
You
I'll
got
make a,
you got all the ballots, and then the ones you didn't use, you folded in a different envelope.
I'll make a motion that we authorize the manager and clerk to fund a vote by mail operation similar to the last several years of town meeting with a budget of up to, I wanna say 5,000, but that doesn't seem like enough. 10?
Think it costs that much.
I don't think it's-
Just say 5,000.
With a preliminary budget of 5,000. So long as it's possible and legal. That's a pretty messed up motion. I hope Jen can cipher it and make it sound prettier in the minutes.
I can work my magic.
Thank you.
Okay,
You're welcome.
Second.
okay, have a motion and second. Any more discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, that's done. Now the chair's report. Well, I didn't get mine finished. I did have a conversation the other day with Lynn Dickinson. We had a little meeting in Montpelier and Collins informed me that this nice lady that came up and said, get your request in early. They've spent all their money. They have none left, so. That was all for naught.
What's that?
The money, when the appropriations
Oh,
lady came up.
okay,
and Spent an hour telling us, you know, get your request.
Yeah, yeah.
And apparently the money was already spent. Guess she knew it at the time.
Did she mention where the, what was it, $6 or $7 million that Phil Scott announced down here where that money went to?
No, no. She did say that it was an A&R has quite a bit of money that has to be spent by the end of 24 or appropriated, and they have no project, so she didn't know if maybe somehow we could grab on some of that, if we had some projects ready to go, but and I told her, you know, that I'd be willing to come down with any one of you guys. She mentioned you because you're an expert on water quality. If they have some committee meetings where they're gonna discuss it and hear from some of the horses' mouths. You know. But
I'd be happy to do that. I have to figure out which hat I'm wearing. You have to be super careful in front of the legislature working for UVM.
Yeah, you can just say you're working for the
I have
town.
to be working for the town and state that. Yeah.
Sometimes it's even better to just go in and say, I'm here as a private citizen. That way,
I don't know if that,
Not gonna fly.
I don't think that flies at UVM. We have to maintain a certain demeanor inside and outside of work. So. But anyways, that's fine. I'd be happy to go down there and be objective.
Yeah, okay. Party on the way home. Okay. I think that's all I got.
There was some other business that came to my brain and then left me. I had it while you were talking and then I lost it, but there's,
Well, we can sit around.
no, that's all
Comes
right.
back.
That's
I have-
fine.
I have one. You remember Al, how Carrie had that running like table in a Word document of all the projects that she was working on? It was kind of broken down by department.
Yep.
And then she had like status and last update and next steps. I'm wondering if we can work on like a more formal version of that and update it with the quarterly department head reports, like, or even monthly, just everybody take a look at it once a month and send us it doesn't make sense to get an update on every project during a meeting, especially if there's not anything to report on, but like,
So are you suggesting to get rid of the existing reports you get from the departments? and
No,
summarize it in
leave-
This?
she just had a way of centralizing it.
Yeah, I know.
in that
I read the
document.
report, but
And it wasn't, we needed the department head reports because I felt that they were more informative about day-to-day operations, like we get the one from. Megan and AJ that says how many zoning permits we've issued, and we're not waiting until the town report comes out to get that info now. And Dave's weekly reports are extremely informative. And
they
it
take
helps.
a lot of time.
Yeah.
And my suggestion is, if you want them, let's make them quarterly, and then it's Carrie's idea. That might be done more easily on a monthly basis. You've got to realize that we have a very lean staff. And so a lot of time is spent writing these reports. And I think there's an opportunity for the cost to you could be spent otherwise.
I'm just looking at like, okay, town manager's working on this, Dave's working on this.
Yep.
You know, we're looking at paving these few, whatever, Megan's working on these few priorities, the 3 sidewalk projects and, the revitalization. Megan's always great about giving us detailed updates on who you're meeting with and what you're working on. And like, it'd be nice if monthly we got like okay, this one moved from this step to this step, this one stayed the same. This one, we applied for a grant. This one, we had already applied for a grant last month and we were rejected, or we got the grant. Just enough to get us to the point where we know kind of where everything's at, because we talk about something in a meeting and somebody might catch it on YouTube or on Northwest Access. And then we get 2 months after the meeting, if it's an issue that they care about, and then they might ask us where it's at. Sometimes I just don't have the best information to operate on.
I can always refer them to Sean.
Can, yeah. And then it's how much,
So I hear what you're saying. Let me put some ideas together, try to plagiarize what you're saying, bring it back to you to see if we're on the same wavelength.
I'm talking like very minimalist.
Yeah, I know
like,
what you're doing.
project, like where it's at, where we think it's headed. And,
Yep.
Once a month, maybe everybody looks at what they have on the roster and updates their 4 or 5 things. And it gets shot off with the, other reports. And we just, it just seemed like a good document to refer back to, because I could go and pull Carrie's previous 5 and track a project for 6 months' time. And it seemed like it was a nice thing to operate with. I miss it a little bit, so.
Okay.
I'm gonna add my 2 cents to that. I don't want to be labeled as a micromanager, so like, I don't really, not that I don't care what everybody does on the day to day, but I really don't. Like, I don't need to see a weekly report. Like, that's up to Sean to supervise that or manage that detail.
Right.
What Brennan said about Carrie's old project form, I'd rather see that, to be quite honest with you.
That's easier to
Like,
do.
I don't, I don't care if the ditches on Lord Road got cleaned out last week. I don't know. I kind of think that's kind of like Sean's,
Well, I like,
you know?
Dave generated that all on his own.
I mean, I guess
Those
if they want to
reports.
put it up out here, but for me to see, I guess
I like that.
read it, that's all.
I like what everybody's doing. I just miss that one format of that document. And if it comes and it looks different but has the similar information, that's fine. If
Okay,
it's easier to create like a some kind of a cloud file that everyone has access to, and we just know like before the first meeting of every month, we have to update it, and then it's sitting here for us and we can just review it. Cause I would keep copies of them saved in a file in my email, and I'd go through a year's worth to see like where are we at with the health path, have we moved it this year? And it would be, we'd applied for a grant, we didn't get it, V-Trans said they didn't want a crosswalk, so we couldn't move forward. That was all there, and I was able to kind of reflect on the year worth of work. It's just a nice document.
But I think you're right, like, I think we should have the bigger projects, and stuff like that, because sometimes that's what what the people vote on, right? So that's the bigger stuff. They don't care if the ditch got dug out on Wood Road or per se, they want to know what we're doing in this project. We want to know what we're doing at the town forest with the trail reworking, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's the stuff I
That's
think
important,
should
right,
be.
right.
Then the day-to-day, like, just leave the shot.
You could
Like,
even put
if
it-
you're saying the day-to-day stuff takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
Like, he can just leave that between
And
Sean and the
right, right,
employees.
right.
Like, if I ask Sean, like, hey, if I call him, say, hey, what's going on Lord Road or whatever. Oh, they're just digging the ditch because of X, Y, Z, great, you know what I mean? But I think we should prioritize. The progress of the projects and the bigger.
Even if we updated it, like if we had it as a page on our website, like project status. Every project that we're discussing at the select board level, that we've committed at least staff time and or funding to, like makes a list, and we update it every so often so that someone can go on and see that, someone on Tanglewood might see that we applied for, a state or federal grant or something like that, or, that Public Works Director is meeting with an engineering firm to revise the plans, and we expect our next step to be blah, blah, just basic where it's at, where it's going,
So let Sean and I and the staff work on
Yeah.
that.
whatever you come up with,
I don't think we'll make it for the 17th, but we'll make it for a month.
that's fine.
Yeah, got my thought came down.
Okay.
Good.
Shoot.
So I talked to Brian about this shortly after the last meeting, but I really think that we need to have whoever that person was that told the town that they had to put different shingles on the roof of the stone house, come in and explain why that project's not gonna happen now.
Well-
I mean, I'm just saying, if it's gonna cost $750,000 to put a roof on a building,
Kind of doesn't make sense.
it's stopping the project.
I talked to Brian about that too, and I told him, again, I'd just as soon jump in the car and go down there. Get a hold of Tate Brooks or somebody that's.
Tate came down the very next day and talked to Sean. Just so I don't mess things up, I'll let Sean tell you what he heard from Tate. I know it wasn't all that optimistic, but I'll let him get into the
I talked
details.
to John and
Okay.
Brian about it, but, I guess you mentioned it last meeting, if we don't do anything and the place falls in,
We're probably better off if it's gonna be like everything that should cost 200,000, it's gonna cost 750 because of historic preservation.
That's the number I picked. That's
Well, I mean, if that's, it came in at like 4 something.
Right.
Without doing.
Without the stuff.
Without the extra, so you're probably not far off. So if that's gonna be the case, maybe we should look at, as much as it would suck to do it, we should just abandon the thing, knock it down and put something in place.
That was my thoughts to Sean was bring out all our backhoes and pushers and all that jazz in front, and then have a public campaign. If you want to stop us knocking it down, call your legislature and set a date.
Was it a federal registry that it's on?
no, it's
No,
not
it's state.
historic preservation,
That's
I
it.
believe,
I
right?
think so too. State.
So why don't we talk to Joe, who knows on that state committee? And he's always grateful. I think he's the current president of the museum, and he's very grateful that we kept the allocation the same. And he helped us one year. That 20,000 that we built, that cupola came, that was pretty much Joe Luno
Right.
made a phone call and got us a grant. So.
I just feel like that, I mean, since I've been on the board, we've been talking about doing stuff
Right.
there, and then this year. We made a decision to move forward, and we haven't moved forward.
Yeah.
And now they're coming out and saying whatever they're saying. And they're jeopardizing the whole project over a technicality that nobody cares about.
Absolutely. no.
And so,
I never even noticed there was a difference in the
Right.
shingles.
so I just think we need to get that resolved so that we can continue to move forward, or if we need to pivot away from it.
And how do we know this person knows what she's talking about?
Correct.
So what, there was somebody that interviewed for a position with the town, who was a town resident. That's probably as far as I can go.
Yeah, I remember.
That had a lot of experience in historic preservation, building renovations.
Doesn't she live down the road here?
Yeah, wasn't she
Oh,
the
yeah.
person from Burlington?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Working
I
on it.
wonder if there would be any leeway to be able to like, even if it was like a very, very part-time paid 1099 consultant position, to bring someone with a lot of expertise in it that does this every day. And just say, we need you for $1,000 a month, we'll do 5 hours, 2 hours a week, and it's not that much work to deal with these people.
Well, I think
Do so much an hour, and
if you can get the governor's ear through the local resident like me, I've done it before, and, you know,
can they waive stuff by executive?
They can do whatever they want.
somebody just say, call her in, say, listen, lady, would you rather have the building fall in, or do you want?
But they're not following some kind of statute or rule book that's backed by statute.
Well, even if they are, you can still, the governor can do still the thing.
So you could get an executive order that could even give us some funding if we really pushed it.
So in preparation for that though, we should get pictures of that roof, and so down to the detail of the shingles and their differences, so the governor understands this is nonsense. Because if I were Tate, I'd be reluctant, Governor, they've got a problem in St. Albans with this and that. Governor, here's the problem they're facing, this lady doesn't like,
Whatever it is.
right,
Well, it's gonna be everything related to that building.
pardon?
It'll be everything related to the building. We were talking about.
Oh, right, the
taking
insides
a
too.
doorway and turning it into an archway. That's gonna be a problem.
Right.
And then it would be,
Yeah.
what kind of native wood are you gonna use to case the archway with? It's gonna be nuts.
I think we should probably spend just a little bit of time. Come up what we want to do throughout the entire, and just hit them with one.
Right,
If-
that's
if
what I'm
the
getting.
government with like, you can do whatever you want.
We should work with
Base,
the.
you know what I mean, within, but not just like, cause if we gotta keep doing this, we're gonna keep
Because
doing.
I think if you have this person back up here to explain, that you're gonna just like when you had the,
It's gonna sound like nonsense.
well, just when we had the stormwater girls all sitting here, they had. no authority, you know.
I would-
It's just, that's just a waste of breath.
I gave Sean a plan set that Stan Dukas got in like 2015 or 16 and gave to me years later. Of the stone house renovation that they were gonna propose. And it was very limited in nature, and I don't think we would accept the floor plan and whatnot the way that it was. But maybe we could work with that architect if he's still in business. And just have those plans drafted to the point where we would be happy with them, and then. I would go as far as to like pick finishes, like. You gotta pick, okay, we're gonna do a bathroom, what are we gonna do for a vanity? I would pay some, it would probably cost us. A 50 grand to get it done, but like, I know that with this building, they had pictures of what the urinals were gonna look like before they were installed. They had a spec on this wood for this faux beam, like already done. The lobby light fixtures, they existed and if we could develop that plan. And then bring that to the governor and get him to say, okay, I agree with this plan as of this dated plan. Good to go, I don't care. Or pass it through historic preservation or whatever I
So,
don't know how you get out of it.
so are you talking now about an architect to help us?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
So we, you know what we wanna do, why do we just gotta keep heaping more crap onto it? We gotta fight for what we got, what we wanna do, put the damn roof on.
Well, I would get the whole thing.
or
figured
knock
out.
it down, because
I'd get
at
the
some
whole
point it's
thing,
gonna be unsafe to even be there.
I'd get the whole thing figured out, the whole project, and make one ask. Just get it
My
figured.
only ask is, we wanna fix the damn roof. We must find a way to get it done and bypass these people. That's my old adage, it's easier to ask for forgiveness. Oh, that's not the right way. I thought that was fine.
But I think Jack, part of the roof issue was getting some light, remember they were gonna put some sort, and she dismissed that immediately.
That was a no-go.
That was, yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
Well, you think of the light that's gonna come in when that roof falls in?
Yeah.
Of course.
I don't understand why these bureaucrats are so empowered to make such dumb decisions.
Ask them if white clear plastic, 6 mil plastic, fits the historic.
That's where it's headed.
No.
The facia's falling off the building.
Anyways,
Right, but
I
That's
think
good.
that I would like to either wash our hands of it and get rid of the building, or let's make it better and actually do that and not deal with.
just for clarity's sake, in terms of consensus, are you willing, and I know, are you willing to hire an architect who has experience in historical preservation? Help
Super
us
expensive.
design the thing from A to Z.
Pull it from ARPA. We had already allotted so much money from ARPA to fund.
Yeah, I don't care where the money comes from, I'm just asking if we can do it.
I'd give them a budget of 30 grand.
Well, I think first thing we ought to do is find out what we can and can't do before we start.
Well, I thought the whole thing is to figure out how to ask to do whatever we want.
Through an architect, what if he's wrong? Like, you know how many times engineers come to,
And they tell you.
and they
what's
tell
in
you,
here.
that's not it, and they're like, okay, like, they don't know it all, they don't stay up to date on everything, like, that's not how it works.
But
So
who do you work
I think we go to that, whoever is the historical society and say, we wanna do X, Y, Z. And if they say no, then we go down the next channel or something, like, cause wasting 30 grand on an architect to break.
Well,
the
that's why
front
it's like,
of the-
what level do you need to get the XYZ to? ask the question?
I would like to have a conversation with that person to know what their expectations are. Does it have to be restored exactly like it is? And if she said yes, the question is, why? Because it, like, how are we to afford that?
Well, and why would a building make sense to be the same way it was 100 years ago?
Just to fail it.
Just to fail again, to never get used. We're trying to take a seasonal falling down building and turn it into a year-round community center.
Yeah, I think
And
we
we're
have
willing to invest hundreds of thousands, if not 7 figures to do
a
it.
chat with that department would be beneficial first, I think.
Just to get an idea about.
Because they
where
might
they're
say,
coming from.
it doesn't matter, everything's gonna be original. And if they do, then we know where we gotta start.
Correct.
If they
So
say,
we do
well,
that
you can
step
do
and
this and
then-
this.
We do that step, and if they're wishy-washy about it and sound like we can and can't do certain things, maybe then we bring a.
Find somebody with a D9.
We don't have to do that.
I think Steiger was doing.
Yeah, you go.
Can I have a cupola to resell?
Who would do it?
Uh,
Oh,
You
okay.
got a big tractor.
I got a big old tractor.
Well,
that-
you know, again, at what point? I like the idea of saving this building because it is what was built during the 30s. By the same token, if it becomes financially impossible, we could build a brand new community center for less
Exactly. That's
Right in that location.
in that location, exactly.
So that's my point.
Yeah.
If they're gonna make this arduous and ridiculously expensive,
Give ourselves. a
go to Plan B.
Right. And I think that's the statement we have to tell them.
We tear it down and we incorporate part of that building into the new building.
Whatever we can say that.
Yeah, we could
Take
use a
some of the
couple,
blocks and.
couple blocks on the corners.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
Use all the blocks, just like the giant patio.
Well, you could rebuild it to almost look the same.
Big
You
thing.
could put the brand new cupola right back on it, reuse the doors and windows. You could take stuff out of the old building and just recycle a lot of it.
Anyways,
I see,
we need to get that person in front.
Gotcha.
or go in front of them.
Or go in front of
Go
them.
see her.
Good
We
point.
can make a whole day.
Huh?
We can make a
All day of it. I don't think it's survivable. I'm not good.
Why don't we talk to Joe Luno and figure out if it'd be better to have them come to us and us go to them? And if we gotta go to them, we get on a state historic preservation committee agenda and
Who's
send
gonna
a
talk to Joe?
couple of. I can call him. Al could call him. Anybody can call him.
Do we want staff to do it?
Sure.
Have Sean done it?
Have Sean or Al call him,
Or I can-
please?
I can be with Sean when we call, so there's a connection between
Yeah,
us.
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let's staff do it. That way there is
Clean.
just,
I'll send you a phone number.
unless you want to call, I feel free,
Well,
but like,
I'll
it's
see-
gotta get back to.
see.
You'll see it in the minutes.
I have Joe's contact information.
Okay,
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Knew you would.
yeah, you're on it.
So,
Okay, I see we got a couple of letters here for more money for,
You approved the monies for the old people's place,
Senior center.
senior center.
senior center, my old people.
Only Al can get
Sorry.
away with saying that.
come on. I said that I get kicked out of here for being ageist.
Uh,
Things you can get away with.
and also the Samaritan House, and it was my understanding that you did approve that, and we adjusted the budget to $3,000 each, I believe.
Yeah, so they were just kind of late to the game or.
Right.
Trying to say that the city.
I spoke with Ben Kaufman and explained to him that this letter came after we had discussed their annual allotment. And he said to go with the $3,000, that the letter that came afterwards was just coming from corporate headquarters or whatnot. And to just go with the request of the $3,000 and disregard the letter that's in your packet.
Yeah,
Yeah. I read that email. He said it was like an annual appeal that they send out every December to all their donors. And we're in there as a donor from his contribution. And he thanked us for the 3,000, said it was very generous. So they did it that.
I just saw the CBO. Here it is.
They have everything, food shelf, the homeless shelter, market kitchen. I mean, that-
Housing.
okay, is there any other business? To come before the board?
We need an executive session.
Yeah. Of course we do.
Need to do schedule.
Oh, yeah, the schedule. Next select board meetings are Wednesday, January 17th, and we're meeting at 5 to do budget. And Monday, February 5th is at 6:30. And yeah, we need a motion to go into executive session. Somebody want to-
Okay, I'll make a motion to go into executive session to discuss a contractual personnel matter where premature general public knowledge of the subject matter would place the town or person involved at a substantial disadvantage. It is further moved to enter into executive session to discuss a personnel matter under provisions Title 1313A1 of Vermont statutes and to invite interim director of operations Al Vogel. We're not taking Sean in with us. Oh, he's not even on.
Okay.
Are we
never
ready
mind.
to go to bed?
Okay.
Yeah. Motion in a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
everybody.
Yeah.